Why do some people get rich while others stay stuck, even with the same income? That's the question Robert Kiyosaki answered in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a book that sold over 40 million copies and flipped traditional money advice on its head. His formula didn't come from a bank or classroom. It came from two father figures with totally different beliefs about wealth. One followed the system, the other broke it. In this video, we're diving into the key truths behind the Rich Dad formula and why it still hits harder than most modern advice. Whether you're broke, building, or balling, these lessons can shift your entire money game. The poor work for money. The rich make money work for them. Most people are stuck trading time for dollars, hourly pay, monthly salaries, annual raises. Kiyosaki's Rich Dad taught him the opposite. Don't work for money, make money work for you. That means using income to buy assets, things that earn while you sleep, rental properties, businesses, stocks. Assets create cash flow without constant effort. Poor Dad believed in job security. Rich Dad believed in financial freedom. That core difference drives everything else in Kiyosaki's model. If your income stops when you stop working, you're not building wealth. You're just surviving on a paycheck treadmill. Assets versus liabilities. Know the difference. Kiyosaki's most misunderstood lesson is also his most powerful. The rich buy assets, the poor buy liabilities, and most people can't tell the difference. A house you live in, liability. A house you rent out, asset. A car, liability. A dividend-paying stock, asset. The secret isn't how much money you make, it's what you do with it. Rich Dad taught that true wealth comes from accumulating income-generating assets, things that put money into your pocket, not take it out. Poor Dad thought owning things made you rich. Rich Dad knew the numbers had to back it up. Simple idea, game-changing result. The education system trains employees, not entrepreneurs. Rich Dad believed school teaches people to obey, memorize, and follow rules, but not how to build wealth. Kiyosaki saw firsthand that good grades and degrees didn't guarantee success. His poor dad was highly educated, yet financially limited. Rich Dad had street smarts and built empires. The difference? One followed the system, the other questioned it. Kiyosaki isn't anti-education, he's anti-traditional thinking. He says if you want to build wealth, you need to study money, cash flow, taxes, debt, business, investing. And those subjects rarely show up in a classroom. Wealth isn't about credentials, it's about knowledge most people never seek out. Don't climb the ladder, own it. Poor Dad told Robert to work hard, get promoted, and climb the corporate ladder. Rich Dad told him to own the ladder. The lesson: jobs are temporary power. Ownership is long-term leverage. While employees trade time for paychecks, owners build systems that pay them indefinitely. Kiyosaki encourages building businesses, acquiring real estate, and investing in ventures where you control the outcome. That's the difference between a career and a legacy. You don't need to be a billionaire to think this way. You just need to stop renting your time and start owning your results. Financial literacy beats fancy degrees. Kiyosaki says financial success has less to do with intelligence and more to do with financial literacy. You can be brilliant and still be broke if you don't understand money. Rich Dad taught him to study how money flows, how taxes work, how to spot deals, and how to use debt strategically. These are skills, not IQ. Poor Dad thought intelligence was academic. Rich Dad thought it was practical. Understanding assets, liabilities, income streams, and investments gave Kiyosaki the edge, more than any diploma could. Want to change your financial future? Don't just earn, learn. Use debt as a tool, not a trap. Most people fear debt. Rich Dad used it. Kiyosaki's model flips conventional wisdom. Bad debt buys stuff you can't afford. Good debt buys assets that pay you back. Think mortgage on a rental property, not credit card debt for a vacation. Kiyosaki used borrowed money to buy real estate, expand businesses, and create cash flow. He didn't avoid debt, he mastered it. That's how you scale fast without waiting decades to save up. Poor Dad said, avoid debt. Rich Dad said, learn to manage it. and use it wisely. Fear keeps you broke. Financial strategy sets you free. Make money in your sleep. Kiyosaki learned that if you stop working and the money stops coming, you're not wealthy, you're just employed. Rich Dad emphasized passive income, money that flows in regardless of effort. That could be real estate rent, dividends, royalties, or automated businesses. Kiyosaki's early investments in apartments and publishing gave him the freedom to stop trading time for income. Most people only have earned income. The rich build residual income. Passive income doesn't mean zero work. It means building systems that keep paying long after the work is done. You don't need millions to start. You just need your first income stream. Taxes are a game, and the rich know the rules. One of Kiyosaki's boldest points is this: the rich don't just make more money, they keep more. Rich Dad taught him that understanding tax laws, legal entities, and corporate structures is critical. Employees get taxed first and spend what's left. Business owners earn, then spend through their company and get taxed on the leftovers. It's not about evasion, it's about education. Kiyosaki uses corporations, real estate deductions, and reinvestments to legally reduce his tax burden. If you're not studying tax strategy, you're leaving money on the table. The tax code isn't against you. It just favors those who know how to use it. Fear and comfort keep you broke. Poor Dad taught Robert to play it safe. Steady job, secure benefits. Rich Dad taught him to lean into fear. Fear of failure, fear of risk, fear of uncertainty. Kiyosaki says that fear controls most people's financial lives. They avoid investing, avoid asking questions, avoid change. But Rich Dad taught him that discomfort creates growth. Financial education, calculated risks, and small experiments are the way forward. Comfort zones create quiet financial traps. Kiyosaki didn't ignore fear. He used it as fuel. If your goal is security, you'll stay stuck. If your goal is freedom, you'll have to move through fear. Sell, influence, and negotiate like your future depends on it. Kiyosaki credits much of his success to one skill: sales. He learned how to sell early on, even took a job at Xerox to improve his skills. Why? Because in business, your ability to pitch ideas, close deals, and influence others determines your ceiling. Rich Dad told him, if you can't sell, you can't survive. Poor Dad undervalued this skill, focusing only on technical knowledge. Kiyosaki's formula puts persuasion front and center. Whether you're selling a product, raising capital, or negotiating real estate, your money moves are only as good as your ability to influence. That's the power skill school never teaches. Don't save, invest. Traditional advice says, save your money. Kiyosaki says, put your money to work. Saving alone won't make you rich, especially in a world where inflation erodes value. Rich Dad taught that every dollar should have a job, and that job is to earn more dollars. Whether it's real estate, stocks, or your own business, investing accelerates wealth in a way saving never can. Poor Dad saved out of fear. Rich Dad invested out of confidence. It's not about reckless risk, it's about smart positioning. You don't get rich from saving. You get rich from scaling your money's impact. The rich think long-term. Poor Dad focused on short-term safety. Rich Dad focused on long-term vision. Kiyosaki built his wealth by delaying gratification, reinvesting profits, and thinking in decades, not months. He avoided lifestyle creep. It was a wake-up call, a new language for money, mindset, and freedom. It challenged everything we were taught about working, saving, and succeeding. The real secret: it's not about how much you make, it's about how you think. If this shifted your mindset, drop a like, comment your favorite Rich Dad rule, and subscribe to Rick Route, where we turn financial lessons into action steps. Your future doesn't need more hours worked, it needs smarter moves made.